So now a little box jumps up on the screen. And you have to click the word "got it," and that screen clears out, and then we are ready to go. So I'm going to mute everybody. All right. So once again, we have our setup here. A chair to sit in, and then 2 more chairs to act as balance supports for us, kind of like parallel bars, inside which we then do our exercise. Make sure you've scooted to the front edge of your seat, hands on your thighs. And some breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. So what we are practicing in our seated meditation that applies to our walking and our gait and our balance is what they call in Tai Chi practice, Taoist view of the body. Zhongjung, which means central upright. So you're practicing your central pillar, right? Your tent pole that holds everything up, right? And so if you don't have that intact, if there's slouching, if there's leaning, if the body's out of position, then we can't practice any of the other techniques, you could say. So first, getting this calibration to center, to middle, to vertical alignment with space. Then, after that, we can practice what's called Chun One, or softening and sinking into stability. So we're looking for stability, we're looking for balance when we're walking around, when we're moving around. How do we get it? Do we tighten the body and hold on for dear life? That's what a lot of times people are doing to get balance. But what that does is it actually makes us top heavy. It uproots us and makes us more likely to fall. So alignment and then softening, relaxing. What happens there is that excess tension drains through the body, kind of like sediment settling in a cup of water. Over time, it settles down at the bottom and creates a sort of consolidated quality down there. And so I've used that example of the blow-up toy that many of us saw as kids, that toy that you could smack and it would fall over, but then it would pop right back up. Is usually like a clown or something. But the reason it could fall and pop up was because the sand was very heavy in the bottom. So that's a great example of Chunwan, letting all of that settle down through the chair to the floor, settling through your legs to the floor. So when we're doing our meditation, that's functionally what we're practicing, is Zhongjung and then Chunwan. And the third bit is Qingling, which is the result of those first two, is that the body feels lighter, more nimble, freer to move. And with regards to Parkinson's, it's a pretty big deal to dissolve the excess tension in the nervous system. There's a sort of hypnotized, entranced state that meditation is training us towards, this ability to let go, to release, to settle, to dissolve. And when that happens, we want to make sure we're keeping our Zhongjung. So as we're relaxing, settling, and releasing, we're also keeping awareness of vertical alignment. And we're balancing these concepts. Now to practice the Qing Ling a little bit more and to help clear out more of that extra tension, we do our joint mobilization. So your hands are resting on your knees, slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, your chest area opens up, lift the chest and lift your chin and look to the sky. So we're moving all of our body parts in one direction, and now we move them in the opposite direction. Slide your hands forward till your elbows are straight, hollow the chest, drop the head and round your back. And then do it again. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, look up. So we're going all the way in one direction to the edge, and then we go all the way back in the opposite direction to this other edge, and then all the way back, looking up, arching, and then all the way forward and rounding. And we'll do it again, all the way back, arching, all the way back, rounding, all the way, arching, all the way, rounding. Now, from that last one, then come back to this middle, recalibrate and feel those three little techniques. Zhong-Zheng, Chun-Wan, settling down, and Qing-Ling, maybe a little lighter, a little easier for your body. Now we do our next movement. Left hand forward past the knee, right hand and elbow back, turn the chest and shoulders, turn the head to the right. Then we switch. Slide right hand forward, left hand back, all the way back, turning more and more and more and more, and look to the left. And then we switch again, all the way to the right. And then we turn again. And just keep turning back and forth. Again, also noticing that as you're exploring the two extremes of range of motion, in this case in the rotational plane, turning, what you're turning around is the still point in the middle. So there's a part of you that is sort of not turning or retaining its stability, its centered, its organized stillness. So we're balancing the ideas of stillness and freedom of movement. Let's come back to middle and just settle there for a moment. Feel Zhong-Zheng, central upright. Chun-Wan, softening into stableness or stability. And lightness, freedom. Then hang the arms. And we shift the weight to the right buttock, lean the body to the right. Now left wrist, just let it float up here. Elbow float up, very light. And lean and tilt. And your left foot might even free up off the floor. And then we change sides. Shift to the left buttock. Left arm goes long, right wrist, right foot, tilt. And then we change again. Cross, lean, tilt. With this one, we want to feel that, as I joke about it, of course, be safe, but flirting with disaster. You're going right to this edge. You're trying to feel right where you're almost kind of falling, but you don't fall. And learning to relax at the edges of your comfort zone, right? We can feel like, whoa, I might fall here. And then we might tense up, and that will actually make us more likely to fall, versus relax and you ground more. Releasing. So we're softening and loosening the body, which allows us to connect down to the ground. One more each side. So this little 3-move set is a really great one to practice This could be your whole practice. Come back to middle, settle the hands on the thighs. A little more breathing. And the power of these practices are when they're done regularly. So this is like a calibration orientation. If you were to have done this and then got up and stood up and went about your day, you would have found your middle better. You would have loosened up some of the tension and resistance. So please take these little bite-sized practices and do them in your day. Now, next little set, arms hang. Shoulders, arms plug into shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are on your back. You take our shoulder blades apart from each other and the shoulders come a little forward. We lift the shoulder, bring the shoulders back, and then slide them down the back and under. Let's do that a few times. Forward and up, back and down. Cleaning out one of these usual suspects for where we hold our tension. Chest, shoulders, upper back, neck. So this is almost like giving ourselves a really nice massage. When you do it right, you really feel like you can stretch and squish the tissue, which helps it condition into more soft, more supple, more fluid. Now we went forward to back. Now let's go back to forward. Go back, up, forward, down, back, up, over the top, forward and down. Last one. And bend your elbows so your hands are up here. Now from the elbows, float them out and up. Down. Around in front, squeeze. Down. Out and up. Down. Around in front and squeeze. Down. One more. Again, this just gets another layer of tension in the body out. Now the next one in this set, elbows back behind you, elbows down, forward and up. And then elbows forward, down and back. Elbows down, forward, up. Forward, down, and back. Down and forward, up. Forward and down. Final one in this little set, elbows out. One hand above, one hand below, cross. Hug your own body. And then release, elbows out to the side. Other one above, other below, cross. Hug your own body. Elbows out. Cross. Open. Cross. Open. And down, down. Scoot back just a little bit on your chair so you're very stable. Lift your, I'll turn sideways so you can see the knee comes up, the foot pulls in, so no hands needed. So we draw in, push the leg straight, draw in, set that foot down, switch legs. In, push, in, down. This one, in, push, in, down. This one. Alternating each time, we're just clearing out the general tension by squeezing together, extending, squeezing, relaxing. One more. And straighten your right knee, point foot, flex foot. And then what's called invert, evert, foot a little in, out, in, out, in, out. And then circle, circle. And reverse, circle. Switch feet. Point, flex, point, flex. Point. Invert, evert. Circle. And reverse, circle. And down. Scoot all the way forward again, front edge. Step your feet wider than your hip distance here, so there's a little extra room. Lift your toes, turn on the heels. Toes and knees point in, that's internal rotation from the hip joint. Then lift your toes, turn the legs out, knees and toes out, the groin area open. Then close, internal rotation. Open, external rotation. Close, open, close, open, close, open, close, and open. And then we're back to neutral. Bring your legs back to hip distance, hands on your knees, fold forward from the hips, and then sit upright from the hips. Lean back a little bit from the hips. And again, forward, in. Upright, lean back, upright, forward, upright, back, upright, forward, last one, and back. And we're vertical. So that's sort of a minimal joint mobilization, check out every little part of the body practice that you could and really should do daily, just to keep everything flowing so things don't get stuck, stagnant, tied up, twisted, that kind of idea. Now, standing up and sitting down, I'll turn a little bit sideways so you can see some of the angles. Bring your feet back a little bit behind your knees, right? So you don't want to stand up with your feet out in front. You don't even really want to stand up at a 90-degree angle. It makes it much more fluid and easy when you bring the feet back a little bit, and then make sure you relax the upper body. Most of the time, people start pushing down into their chair to try to stand up, and that really doesn't help you. You feel like it does, but it really isn't helpful. What we want is loose, relaxed arms, and then we want to just fold at the hips. Now, pour your body weight out of the chair down to the floor. The sand, the sediment, down to the floor. Keep it down there. A lot of times people stand up and someone says, stand up straight, and I see this. I'm exaggerating, but people grab onto their muscles here and try to yank their body up straight. But you know, you can see if I exaggerate, this makes me top heavy versus relax. Release what's going on up here and let it get to the earth. Now keep it in the earth through the feet. Stick your butt back. Let's just do this movement. Don't sit down yet. Just fold at the hips and then bring the hips back to vertical. So the power of staying relaxed and then just folding, arms so relaxed that they hang out front. A lot of times people do this. They grab their arms behind them when they go to sit down. Relax them. And then stand back upright. Now go for that seat where you fold like this. Then once you've achieved this, then you sink your butt. Find the chair. And then back. And we stand up. So now we're folding, pouring like water, pouring it down to the earth through your feet. When you stand up, stay super light, super relaxed. Let that sediment get to the earth. Sit down. Keep it in your feet, through your feet, and then pour it into the chair so that your feet are empty. Then pour it out of the chair into your feet, and up we come. Now, don't sit in your chair, butt back, sit as low as you can without sitting in your chair so you can get your fingertips to the floor or to your feet, and then push through the earth and stand all the way back up nice and tall. This one really helps relax the body. Folding up as you sit, you're just kind of squeezing everything together and then pushing through the floor and rising. So a lot of times they use the metaphor of an accordion. Picture an accordion coming together and then opening apart. We're sort of doing that with the tissue and structure when we relax and fold everything up. Make sure you sit your butt. A lot of times people forward fold too much. Make sure you're sitting your butt to let the legs fold up and then they unfold as we stand. Okay, next, come to your chair. So if you're set up like me, you should be able to step forward and find this little relationship to your chair. Fingertips able to use the chair for balance. Now, tip your body weight into your toes. Notice your heels become light. Then rock back to the middle of your feet and rock to your heels. Now again, use the chair for safety, but try to get your body weight more into your heels. And then you're in the middle of the feet. And then forward. Notice how there's more room forward. And then we're back to the heels. Something I've encountered with a lot of people who are having some balance issues, Parkinson's or not, is that they're uncomfortable going forward into the front of the feet. So a lot of times people are stuck back and trying to walk around, and so they always feel like they're at risk of falling backwards. So find this real estate, this range to move forward and back in your feet. Now let's add to it. Forward into your toes, lift your heels up by pushing down through your toes. Lower your heels, but stay in your toes. Now rock to the heels, pull the toes up, possibly even the balls of the feet up so that the only thing touching the ground is your heels. Use your chair for safety, please. And then we put the toes down. Let's do that 3 times more each side. Rock to the toes, lift your heels. Lower the heels. Rock to the heels, lift your toes. And then down. Again, forward, lift. Down. Rock back, lift. Down. Forward, lift. Down. Back, lift. And down. Now, turn your head, look at me for a moment. My hands go on my chair, settled onto my chair. Now, we're going to walk back enough. So keep watching me for just a moment. I'm keeping my arms straight, stable on the chair. And now I'm pushing my butt back. So what this creates is a really nice hamstring stretch and back stretch and shoulder stretch. So try that with me. So from here, walk your feet 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest your heels of your hands on that chair. This could be your countertop in your kitchen. And then stick your butt back and get a nice stretch to the legs. opening all the tissue on the back side of the body. And then we're going to lift the chest a little bit just to take the edge off. So we kind of come out of the posture. And then let's go in for round 2. Stick your butt back. Stretching. This is essentially downward dog from yoga. And then lift the chest. Walk forward. And stand up tall. Turn and face forward now. We're going to do a little movement here. So you're near this chair, your right side chair. It's my left, but I'm going to say right. I'm going to say your side. Your right foot, turn it out about 5 degrees. Change the weight into that right leg. Take your left foot and put it in front with the heel touching and the toes up. So you kind of have this position, okay? Then take your left hand on your left thigh. You're going to stick your butt back, right? Like this. Butt back. And let this right knee bend a little as you sit, fold in half. And slide your left hand down to your left ankle or shin, maybe even the foot. And then stand back up, slide that hand all the way up. So now we're extra stretching this left hamstring. Stick the butt back. So again, if you're tight, you might feel the stretch right here where your hand is even above the knee and you fold it. There's no need to force it further. You want to feel that stretch through the leg. Go as low as feels good, then come back up. All the way to standing. 3 more times. Stick the butt back. Fold. Rise. And we fold. And rise. One more. Stick that butt back. Fold. Okay, now shift the weight into that left leg. And actually, you probably need to back up just a little bit. So we've got our hand on the chair, body weight in that left leg. And notice what I'm doing here. So I'm going to turn and show you the different range of motion. But this. So this should be your right leg lifting, and your body weight is in that left leg. So you're folding, folding, and then rise back up to standing. Do that again. So fold at your left hip, left leg stays straight, right leg lifting, folding in half. This is sort of yoga and qigong exercises to help us liberate our joint relationships and have us really get our center of gravity to the middle of the body rather than when we think of it up here, or a lot of times we're holding it up here, but it's in the middle, in the belly. We can really feel that when we teeter-totter, like so. Okay, we're going to switch sides and go over to this other chair. So get there safely. Turn your left foot out maybe 5 degrees. Put your right foot out in front, heel touching, toes up, right hand on right thigh. Now stick your butt back and fold in half. Go as low as you should. Again, if you're feeling really tight on this leg, because I know with Parkinson's, but it's true with everybody, but a lot of times we have one leg tighter than the other. So it's okay that it's not the same. Come all the way back up. Flow through that a few more times. The term my teacher uses, that it's not some crazy term, but it's very powerful, is the term appropriate. So when someone says, how low should I go? How long should I stay? How, all those questions, the answer is always, well, what's appropriate? And what's appropriate is changing. So with my first round, I might have stopped a little higher, right? But then my second round, I might find, if I pay attention, Oh, I got a little more room. I can go a little further. I can linger a little bit before coming up. So paying attention constantly to what's appropriate, what's that perfect edge. Folding. Rising. One more. All right. And then we take that little step backwards, and then the right foot is in front. Shift your weight through that front leg. Left hand is on the chair for balance. Your middle is this navel, the belly button. Fold, teeter-totter, and lift that left leg up somewhat behind you. And then we'll come back up to standing vertical. Again, from your right hip crease and from your middle, teeter-totter. And rise back up to stand. Teeter-totter, keeping your middle. Because someday, I don't suggest today, but you can do this with no hand, right? And that'll be because you'll have a good middle here intact. Teeter-totter. And rise back up. Okay. Step to the middle, hands together, rub. So we just do a little bit of a closing self-massage. Groin, known as the quad, on either side of the genital pubic area, that crease right there. Then come around the hips to your tailbone, your sacrum, then come up onto your lumbar, your lower back muscles. And then, like we're doing one of our squats, stick your butt back, slide the hands down the outside of the legs, around to the inside, then stand back up, bring your hands up to your middle, your belly button. From that middle, groin, known as the quad, around the hip-leg relationship to the tailbone sacrum, up onto your lower back spine, the muscles on either side, and then the yang channels clear, that's the outer back side, and then the yin channels, the inner front side, up to the navel. We'll do that one final time. Groin, around, up onto your lower back, and then sweep. And we've got our middle. Relax your arms. Let's move closer to the right side chair. That is there when and if you need it. For this, every time I say level 1 in a particular exercise, consider that you might, especially if you've done this for a while, that's the best time to practice no hands on any support. Okay? So it's right there if we need it, but we're not using it unless you need it. Now, body weight is going through both legs equally. Let's make the right leg take 100%. The left leg has 0. So just shift your weight to your right leg, let it go through the right leg to the earth. Left foot empty, lift the heel and get to the tip of the shoe. Then put the whole foot back down, no body weight, and then feel from this middle pivot of the navel and lower back, that's where we change our weight. Over this leg. Now your right leg, get to the tip of the toe, put the heel back down, and then from this middle pivot, change. And here we have left foot empty, get to the tip of the toe, back down, from your middle pivot, change. Once that right foot is empty, lift, down, change. So what I often will see with people is they'll stay double weighted, and when I say go to your left or right leg, there's something like this that happens. There's all this upper body movement, but you can see here, there's not the important change. Whereas when you do it right, you keep your zhong-zheng and you just let it go through one leg. So this becomes empty. And then you take your zhong-zheng and you let it go through this leg, and this becomes empty. So that's how we can feel very comfortable, very balanced, and make sure your shoulders aren't hugged up to your ears. Relax. Let your arms go down. Let your shoulders down. So that you're central upright, you're sinking into stability, and then you're feeling Qingling, light, nimble, free. Now let's go to level 2. You might need your chair for this because we're getting to the tippy toe. We're lifting the foot a little bit off the floor, placing the whole foot down with no body weight, and then changing down through the left leg. And we get to the tippy toe, a little disconnection, a reconnection, and then we change down through the right leg. Tippy toe, disconnect, reconnect, change. And so how is it that your foot is free to lift? The way we want it to be free is through this Qingling, this light nimbleness, but we have to do Chun-One through one leg. We have to be fully supported through one so that it feels safe to lift this foot. That is not what most people do. Most people go about 70-30, 80-20, and then they try to use force to pull the foot off the ground, and then it throws off their balance. So when you start to feel the Tai Chi, you start to go, oh, if I connect to the earth, then there's a freedom, a safe freedom to move, right? So do that a couple more times. Sorry, my screen just, I lost you guys there. Okay. Now let's go level 3, which is just level 2 taken to another level. So we lift and we go all the way up. But once again, notice as I get my knee all the way to the full lift, I'm not leaning, I'm not tilting, I'm not yanking. I'm just the same exact thing. Zhong, Chun-One down through here, Qingling, light and nimble. Down, staying light and nimble. Then we change. Qingling, lift, lower, change. So what we end up feeling is internal stillness. There's not a grab, held on sort of stability. There's a very soft, relaxed, buoyant, floating quality inside as we relax some of that excess tension out of the system. And if we can do this, there's nothing we can't do, right? We can go up and down stairs, we can go up and down hill, we can walk across the room. Eventually you can even sort of jog and have a lightness to your step if you can get one full, one empty, and then change that so that there's that differential ability. Okay, now empty your right foot, put it in front with the heel touching, right, like that, and then change your weight into your front leg. So we shift, but the weight has to go down to free up this foot. And then we change back, the weight has to go down for this foot to be free. So that's this term, or this little phrase I've used. The primary direction is down. Whether we're moving forward, backwards, sideways, or turning around in a circle, we focus on the down to the earth. Down to the earth. Keep doing that, please, because sometimes what I'll see is when people think shift forward, there's this lurching forward with their body where they're losing zhong. So if you notice, as I do mine, I'm moving forward in space, but my central upright, and now I'm moving backwards, I'm never throwing my body off of that center. So we're keeping this central upright quality. Now, level 2, you might use your chair because this front leg we lift and lower. Let's do 3 of those. So that's 1. Just lift again from this hip. Lift, lower. Notice when you lift, are you leaning your Jung back, or can you keep it central upright and just lift and lower? One more, lift and lower. Now, shift into your right leg. Once this has become your full leg, we do a little flamingo lift. Bend the back knee, toe touch down. Bend, down. Bend, down. Now we flow the exercise. So it's shift into your back leg, front leg, lift, lower, shift into your front leg, back leg, flamingo, down, shift, lift, down, shift. Wait until it's empty, then you move it. Shift, wait until it's empty, then you move it. Jung intact, relaxed and loose, casual. So the nervous system isn't all active, it's parasympathetic, it's hypnotized into a trance. You're just healed, you're casual, you're relaxed, almost lazy. I'm gonna feel like you're just lazily moving through space. Now, level 3, hand on chair as needed. Instead of just a straight leg lift, bend the knee, lift that knee up. Set that heel down. Let's do that twice more. Knee up, down. One more. Now shift into that right leg. Back leg, bring that knee forward and up, and then reach the toe back behind, but no body weight. So use the chair as needed. Forward and up, reach the toe back, just touch it lightly. Forward and up, reach the foot behind. Now let's flow the exercise. Change the weight back. This knee rises, heel touches softly down. Change the weight to the right leg. Left knee forward and up, reach the toe back, no body weight. Change, up, down, chain, forward and up, back, chain, up, down, chain, up, back, chain. One more. Again, floating, jung, easy, relax. Okay, now we're changing over to the other side. So bring right foot next to left. Change the weight to your right leg, step your left foot. And here we are. Level 1. Empty that left foot, put it in front, heel touching, it's empty. No hands if you can try it. Shift, get to the tippy toe. Shift back, tip a heel. Shift. Primary direction, down. So if I just pay attention to going down, I have moved forward. If I just pay attention to going down, I have now moved backwards. So I don't have to think forward and back. In fact, if I do, I'm using this vehicle incorrectly. I'm breaking one of the most important rules, which is we got to be grounded. Until we learn how to levitate and float, we have to have that grounded quality. Level 1, let's go level 2. We'll do a few just of this lift. Lift, touch the heel. Lift, touch the heel. You're practicing Ching Ling. Light and nimble. So I'm not yanking on my leg with a whole bunch of effort. There's some effort, but just the minimal appropriate effort to get that lift. Now shift, empty out that back foot, and then as it's empty, flamingo, lift and lower. Now we flow the exercise. Shift. Once it's empty, Ching Ling, lift and lower. Then change so that this is full, this is empty, Ching Ling, easy peasy. And then we change, lift, lower. chain, lift, lower. Jung jung, central upright. Chun one, relax. Chingling, light, nimble, fluid, but yet we've still got that central stability, central stillness. Level 3, knee up, heel touch down. We'll do that twice more. Up, down. The fullness here allows for this freedom here. Now we switch. The fullness here allows for this forward and up, and this back and down touch without lurching backwards. So just be established here, and now you got the freedom to move. Now we flow back. Wait until it's empty, then it should be lift lower with ease. Then you chain, and this is lift, return with ease. And then shift, lift, lower, shift, shift, shift. So we're never coming up. We're always staying down. And if we get the down right, that produces a sort of upness. That's that Qingling. All right? So what we're looking for, we produce in a way that's at first sort of opposite of how we normally think. But then when we find it, we go, oh, it's such good news that I can just relax down to the earth and all this freedom happens because I got this correct. Let's switch sides again. So left foot next to right foot, side step, change over. Now we're near this chair. Put right foot in front. Change your weight to your right foot. Once your left foot is empty, forward. Now, backward. Forward. This one is very important so that you notice when I'm going back and forth, I'm not putting weight. I'm staying full and feeling the freedom to go back and forth. So this is where speed comes in. So if you can empty it, then you can forward, back, forward, back. You can be fast without losing your stillness. Now, have that foot in front, left foot that is, shift into it. Tippy toe of the other foot. Now we shift into the right leg. Left foot should be empty, step it back, shift back. So now we're going change to right leg, step the empty foot, change to left leg. This one. Zhong Zheng intact. Chun one releasing to the earth, releasing to the earth, releasing to the earth. Body is relaxed. Nervous system is relaxed, down regulated rather than active. And that allows the tissue to release, joints to release, and it allows your body to use hydraulics, liquid, fluid, rather than meat and bone and tension. Level 2, right leg, lift, lower, shift. Now this left foot, pick it up and step it up and over something and put the heel down in front, but don't put weight in it. And then reverse that. Left leg up in front, bend the knee, reach the toe back, find the floor, no body weight, and forward. So now again, it's the emptiness, it's the fullness that produces this emptiness, and it's the emptiness that gives us the freedom. And eventually the speed of movement, should you want to move fast or need to move fast. Now with the left foot in front, shift. Now we add the little flamingo with your right foot. Pick it up, put it down. Now let's shift. Now we got to step over something. Foot comes up, tuck, reach, shift back. Zhong Zheng intact, lift, lower, shift, step over something. Shift, flamingo. So every time we're disconnecting the foot from the floor, it's a test to see, are you obeying these laws that we're talking about? The connection to the earth, the relaxation of your tissue, the not holding tension, but the draining it out so that you're connected to the earth. So just notice every time, can you relax it in the face of that caution or that danger rather than tense up? Because there's danger as soon as we go to pick up a foot, that's rolling the dice. So we're doing this here to get us to have the correct response to those moments of risk. Let's go level 3. So now it's knee up, down, shift, and then this is just exaggerated. Bring the heel to the butt, the knee up, the foot floats out, and then we just lower the leg, all the while keeping our correct posture. Then we change the weight. Bring that right knee forward and up. Reach the toe back. Shift back. As the weight gets through that right leg, the left can lift, tuck, and reach, find the floor, and then we shift and lift, lower, shift, heel, knee, foot, down, shift, forward and up, reach it back, shift, up, tuck, reach, shift, up, down, shift. Switching sides. Put the weight through your right leg. Side step. Shift over. Near this other chair. Level 1. Left foot empty. Foot in front. Casual. Relaxed. Lazy. Shift. Now, right foot empty. Just go heel, toe, heel, toe. Without any weight changing. Nothing changing, just an empty right foot. And then the foot forward, we shift, get to the tippy toe of that left foot, and then shift back, step back, shift back. Remember where the primary direction is. Down, down, down. The down produces the freedom. The down allows our subconscious and unconscious nervous system to feel safe enough to relax. One more. So this is just the most natural walk. It's just casual, 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 casual. Now we want level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Now we repeat this little bit here. Right foot up and over, touch the heel, and back. Forward, back. So as we focus on releasing tension and grip in the body and letting this be our conduit to the root, then we're just controlling with the mind, controlling sort of with hydraulics. That's a way to think about it. The leg is liquid, fluid, and it moves freely. Now let's flow. Shift. This left foot, flamingo, down, shift. Now make sure you got the down through the earth as you lift your right foot, bend, step back, and then down through the earth as you lift, lower, down through, step over, down through, heel to butt, toe down, down through, down through, and just let it flow. The ideal in the Taoist view of the body, as you train it, train the brain, the nervous system, the tissue, the joints, is that you're always completely relaxed, And therefore, you're always chunwan, always rooting down, connected to the earth, and therefore always feeling light and nimble and free. But we have to practice, do something to create that. Just like if you wanted a bigger muscle, you'd have to do something to create that. Well, same thing here. If you want open, relaxed, fluid joints, tissues, and nervous system, you gotta do something about it. Level 3. Up, down, shift. And now we just exaggerate. Heel to butt, knee up, foot out, float the foot down, all the while keeping this jung, and then change. Bring the left foot forward and up, or knee rather, and then the toe back. And then we go primary direction down. Once we're down, we've got the freedom to go lift, tuck, reach, and then shift. Up, down, change, heel, knee, foot, down, shift, forward and up, toe back, down, up, tuck, reach back, down, up. So the up is so important because it tells us, did we do it by like a scale, letting the weight go heavy on one side to lift this empty side, or did we try to grab this side of the scale and pull it up? This is the one we normally do. We normally pull this up rather than let the weight go down. Let the weight, it's like a scale. We all know what that would feel like. You let the weight go down, and that would lift this side with ease. Let it go down to get that lift. One more. Down to get that lift. Down. And our final exercise for today. So we did some opening sort of yoga stuff, and now we're just doing forward and back walking. We're not going to get to sideways or turning stuff today, but we've done it on other days. But let's work on this final challenge. Come to the left side of your space and then turn and face across. So now what we have is a runway. Hopefully enough room for 3, 4, 5, 6 steps in one direction. And you have your chairs to the left of you that give you your support. Now, empty one foot, put it in front. It's empty. Primary direction down. Once you get to the earth through that other leg or new leg, this one behind is empty, just swing it forward. Heel, touch. And then down. Back foot is empty. Step it while it's still empty. Down. Step while it's still empty. Down. Step while it's still empty. Down. Now, same thing when going backwards. Of course, be more careful going backwards. But the key to doing it safely is shift into that back leg. Now, keep the weight in your rooted leg as you step the toe back empty. Don't let your weight just fall into the foot. And then down. Once your front foot is empty, step it back, keeping it empty. Down. Step. Down. Step an empty foot. Down. Down. Forward. Down. So when I say forward, I really mean down. Step while empty. Down. Down, down. Do that a couple more times. Down. So we're going backwards. Same thing. Backwards is scarier. Backwards is more dangerous because we can't see. So that's why you really want to make sure that you step the empty foot, find the floor, then make the commitment of the body weight. Step with the foot still empty, then make the commitment. Now let's go level 2 if you would like to. You can just stick with level 1, there and back again. Level 2 would be this foot steps up and over something every time. Then we change. And again, like that scale, the weight goes down to create the safe ability to go up and over. And then down to create the ability to step up and over. And then down. Backwards again is going to be trickier because we have to have our body weight connected, pick the foot up, and reach it back, which forces us to keep our equilibrium. So just take a look at me for a moment. The thing that most people do here is when this foot starts going back, their body goes back with it. You'll notice that will happen for you until you learn how to not do it. And it's just because it's just how we do it. We fall backwards into the leg. Versus here, as my foot is going back, I sort of have to counterbalance to keep myself here so that I can reach here. Because foot in front, foot behind, you notice I'm exaggerating this torso lean, but that happens at a small level. You have to keep your balance and then we shift. Same thing here. I got to keep my equilibrium, keep it, then shift. So try that on your own a couple times, then we'll be finished here. Back. Reach. One more time, there and back again with level 2. Up and over. Change. Up and over. Change. Important to remember when you step, don't just fall into the foot. Step while it is still empty and then change. Eventually you can blend it all together so it doesn't feel as staccato, it doesn't feel as sort of unnatural, but we first have to train separating the experiences of stepping an empty foot, changing the weight while keeping our upright quality, stepping an empty foot, changing and keeping the upright step. And then eventually it blends, it becomes very sinewy. All righty, come back to the middle between your chairs, hands together, rub. Quad, groin area on either side. Hip flexors, the front of the top of the thigh, around to the tailbone, sacrum, that's the lowest portion of the spine, up onto the lumbar, the lower back. Then sit like a squat, the butt goes back, slide the hands down the outside, around to the inside, up the inside, past the groin, to the navel, quad, hip flexors, tailbone, lumbar, and sweep it up. Quad, hip flexor. It's like a reset. Reset after all that challenging work. And then final reset, up the outer arm to the shoulder, turn that arm palm up, sweep off the fingertips, repeat on the same arm, turn the palm down, up the outer, palm up, down, up, down. Switch arms, up the outer, turn. Again, a chi reset to the natural flow. Shogun, wing, roll, fold over top, settle. Here's your navel. Seal the practice. And then Taoist bow. Grab one thumb, fold over. Thank you, everybody. Now find your comfortable seat. Make sure you know where your chair is.